Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. Guys, how did you like our yesterday's episode with a case study? Please do let me know if you found this useful and maybe what you learned from it and what you're gonna now implement in your life to feel better, do better, look awesome, and do amazing things. So let me know how you liked it and what you learned from it. Today, guys, we are talking about 3 main reasons why most people's diets are fucked up these days. And why yours wasn't and probably isn't as good as it could be. 3 main reasons. Guys, there is a reason why so many people find it so difficult, why you might find it so difficult to eat healthy these days. And I thought about it, many times and thought about it deeply over the years of my nutrition coaching career and my own research into food, nutrition, and health. So 3 main reasons. And guys, it's going to be useful to you to know these reasons, because also I'll give you a few tips on how to address those main reasons and how to by doing that, improve your eating habits, like where to direct your attention and energy to improve your eating habits for life that will pay off in so many ways, guys, from preventing diseases and being on medications to struggling with weight gain or pain or some disability later in life. So eating healthy will pay off in so many ways, and it will start paying off, as soon as you start improving your eating habits with more energy, more vitality, and more amazing experiences in your life without any sorts of negative side effects of not optimal diet. So 3 main reasons, guys. What are those? So 3 main reasons. Reason number 1, no nutritional education. Now, guys, where did you last take a course on healthy eating, on nutrition, and how to eat all your proteins and fats and fiber and vitamins and minerals in a simple way for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Like, where did you last take this course or even heard about this course? There is not even a book on that. Like, there are a lot of books on different diets, but not so much on actual, based on science, nutritional education put into simple meals. Again, everyone's trying to sell you the ideal way to eat, but very few people actually base their programs on data. Like, because we know what nutrients, well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. We know what nutrients human body thrives on, what we need to support our mental health, our physical health, our heart health, brain health, gut health, all of it. We actually know quite a bit, but we fail to put it into any sorts of education available to everyone. I believe this skill of healthy eating needs to be taught to everyone in school, once we're teenagers and once we are about to get into adult life. We need to have the skills, how to eat to support our health, well-being, and mental and physical performance. Don't we all need that? So no education, and so much confusion, so many products, so many novel ingredients on the shelves of our supermarket, and so little guidance. Like, everyone is trying to tell you this is healthy or maybe delicious and not as unhealthy. Everyone is trying to sell something, but there is very little true guidance and education. And that's why people are so confused about food. And that's why people end up eating whatever. Because, when you're confused and the choice seems to be so complex and everyone is telling you different things, it's very hard to make the choice and figure out a simple way to eat, again, to satisfy your nutrition needs in all the proteins, all the fats, all the fibers, different sources of carbohydrates, vitamins and minerals. It takes education. And what solution to that, guys? So the solution is book a session with a professional like myself, or maybe somebody else you you admire. Book a session with them, an hour or with me, or an hour with another professional, where you get to ask all of your questions, where I'm gonna analyze your meal plan and will tell you exactly what you are missing and how, in a simple way that suits your life, you can change that. Now, an hour like that can completely transform your life, guys. And paying for that $150 that for example, 1 hour session with the plan after sent to you, 1 hour session like that for $150, I think that is such a small investment, but with such priceless benefits for your whole life onwards, that instead of night out or some gadget that you don't really need, or another bag or or some shirt, maybe invest into that. Invest into yourself and in your knowledge, in your personal development, and in your long-term health. So that's the advice I would give you, instead of reading tons of diet books that, again, very, very few, I'm yet to see a book that will be nutrition science based. So yeah, please do find someone to give you a simple plan based on your health, on your life situation to follow, to make sure that you eat to support all of your vital functions and performance. So that is the solution to number one, till we figure out a better education where nutrition, of which nutrition education is a part of, right? Number two, why most people's nutritional eating habits are so fucked up these days. Number two is no routine. Meaning that you don't know, most of you guys, maybe you guys who are listening actually to this podcast, you have it better, but most people have no idea what to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There is no guideline in their head, and they don't have habits, something they don't have to think about. To give you a better idea, what I mean by that, I have an eating routine. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, they're a little bit different than other people because they do a lot of fasting, but I eat the same kind of foods. I know that foods that deliver the amounts of fats, protein, carbohydrates, and fibers, and vitamins and minerals I need. I know what foods deliver those, and I created a routine that is no-brainer for me, that I don't have to think. I just do it. Today I did my shopping, so I got all my staples. I got protein-rich foods like meat and fish and shellfish. I got vegetables. I got my fruit and berries. I got my nuts and seeds. I got some stuff for cooking like onions and mushrooms. I got my lemons for hydration. I got my dairy products. So I got all of this because these are the staples of my routine. And then when it's time to eat, I just eat the same thing. I start my eating day with fruit. Then I continue eating after 30 minutes or so, some nuts and seeds, some yogurt or kefir. Then after that, a little bit later, I tend to eat some fiber-rich carbohydrates, usually like beans or lentils. And then after that, I eat my main meal of the day. That is a lot of protein, like 400 grams of mussels, for example. Then a lot of veg, usually about 400 grams, some onions, some mushrooms, there, herbs and spices. And that's basically my routine, guys. And so every day I do the same thing. And my cooking is 15 minutes. And so it's all very simple. I don't make any decisions. So I have a routine. That's the idea. And you want to have a routine. And then you also want to create environment like I did for myself, where that routine is easy. So I do my shopping once a week, and then everything is in my fridge. Something is in my pantry, like canned sardines, for example, right? Or canned beans or some other canned vegetables. So everything around me is healthy. It's easy to reach. When I decide to cook my meal, I have my greens, I have my proteins, I have my onions and mushrooms that I always cook with, I have herbs and spices. So it's super easy. I have a routine, right? And I have a supporting environment where I have everything I need and I don't have anything tempting or that goes against my healthy eating. most people don't have any routine. Like, there is breakfast and people start thinking, what do I have for breakfast? There is lunch and people start thinking, what do I order? Or what do I cook? What do I like? Every time there is a decision, or there is dinner, and like, what am I going to have for dinner? Like, there is always a decision. Like, it's so frustrating. It's so taxing for your brain to make that decision so many times per day. You do this thing, eating, every day. So you got to have a routine. Of course, the reason why I said that there is no education first is because in order to create a routine, you need to have some knowledge so that this routine works for you. Otherwise, you always feel like you are either hungry or low on energy or craving something or dizzy or something else, right? So you got to have an education, but then you got to put that education into simple routine and supportive environment to make it simple, and so you are consistent with it. So the second reason why most people diets and eating habits are fucked up, because people don't work on creating that routine. And so what can you do to create this routine? Well, start with shopping. Well, first of all, figure out, what you're going to have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some guideline. Like, for me, dinner, for example, is always veg, is always protein, is always some onions and mushrooms, herbs and spices, and that's it. So that's my dinner. I start my eating day with fruit. So that's my whole routine. Like, figure out your routine and then shop for it once a week. Then figure out how you're going to cook it. You're going to cook it once, twice a week. Are you going to make it every day? How you going to, have your food for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner? Are you ordering? If you do order, then what you're going to order? Like, what is the guideline for you order? Like, what's the place? What you're going to have there to support your health and your nutrition? So you got to figure out your routine and do as much pre-planning and decisions in advance as possible. Also, do things in bulk, like shopping, cooking, meal prepping. Do this in bulk once or twice a week, and then have all of your meals. Maybe pre-order a meal delivery service that is cheaper than takeout, but better for you. And then you have your meals delivered every single day of the week. So figure out your routine, of course, based on some knowledge. And to have some knowledge and to have it simplified and personalized for you, book a session with me or some other nutritional professional who you trust. So they give you a plan based, again, on your health, on your goals, on your life situation. And then they will also, I am also a coach, so I help you to develop the routine. So if you need help with that, how to make your eating easy and simple, please do reach out also, and let's figure it out. And number 3, the last but definitely not least, guys, the last reason why most people's diets are fucked up and people end up overeating, overindulging, or under-eating, or being super obsessed about eating habits, or a lot of things that are kind of like disordered eating habits. So why a lot of people have this? Because nobody teaches us how to deal with our emotions and difficult states, like being stressed or angry or experiencing anxiety or being sad or lonely and bored or celebrating. Nobody teaches us how to do that without substances, without food, without alcohol. And we're kind of like babies. When a baby cries, you give the baby either some food or a pacifier, that thing to suck on, and the baby calms down. And so as adults, many of us, we never learn anything new. Every time we get anxious, we get sad, we get bored, we get lonely, we decide to celebrate, we think about food and other substances like alcohol very often to change our state, to help us feel better. A lot of us as adults, I just learned that my late 20s, my early 30s, and I'm still in the process of working on that, on making it better. So a lot of us, we never learn how to deal with our emotions without food. We never learn how to manage our stress without food and substances. We never learn how to sit with uncomfortable feelings, how to be bored or lonely or stressed, and how to think our way through it, or go and do something, or reflect on that, journal about that, address those emotions with other mechanisms, without food, maybe doing some exercise, doing some yoga, doing breathing exercising, using our eyesight in a certain way to change our state, connecting with other people, our friends and family, having difficult conversations and expressing our emotions in a respectful but honest way and direct way, how to let it out without having to use any substances. So we never learn the skills. And that's why we still use food, like babies use pacifiers or food to not cry and feel better. A lot of us adults, we still do the same exact thing, the same freaking thing that you did when you were 5, when you cried and your mom gave you some, fruit or a candy or a chocolate bar or a cookie. You do the same thing as an adult now in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, and sometimes 50s and 60s. Realize that, guys, that food has this calming effect on us, because it's nourishment, because it's safety, it's calories. But if food is the only mechanisms for you to use to deal with your emotions, your life, your growing up, your maturity, they're not going to go that far. You need to learn to use other tools to actually learn how to deal with those difficult emotions and get through them and get better. So the takeaway here is work on those emotional skills, on coping with emotion skills, how to address and change your difficult emotions and states without foods, alcohol, and other substances. Don't be that kid. You don't need a pacifier. You don't need food to change your state. You can actually do it yourself. But how do you address this problem? Coaching, therapy, those are the only ways. Not the only ways, there is meditation, there is sometimes people use more advanced substances with help of a medical professional or some other professional, like I'm talking about psychedelics or medicinal mushrooms or psychedelic mushrooms, right? But therapy and coaching, those two strategies are the most powerful ones that any one of us needs to have in our toolkit to work through things where we are stuck in our lives. Right now I'm more stuck in my business than in any other areas. Like it feels painful, like I've been at the same level for quite a while. And so I got a coach. I got into coaching. I'm on a very intense program, and it's uncomfortable, and I don't want to do it. I want to quit it, to be honest, but I'm still doing it because I know that this is the area that keeps me from progressing the most right now. And that's what I need to work on. And because it's difficult for me, I can't do it alone because I lack those skills. And that's why I have a coach, business coach. And that's why I'm working on it, no matter how difficult it is. And so for you, if your eating habits are fucked up, then you also need a coach. You need a therapist, depending on, how fucked up or, how deep the problem is. And maybe you also need other tools. So use it. We humans, we are not meant to do everything alone. There are other people who can help us and other tools, and use them. So that's my advice to address this problem number 3 when we use food and other substances to address emotions and states. And that's it for today, guys. That's what I wanted to give to you as your coach, as your remote podcast coach. So think about it and think what you need the most right now. Either a session with a nutritional professional to give you some education and help you create a science-based plan to maintain your optimal health and your physical and mental performance. Maybe you're going to work on your routine, and maybe you do need a session with a coach, with someone who can walk you through your eating routine. So it's easy, it's simple, and you do it every day. Or maybe you need a coach or a therapist to address your coping mechanisms, to help you to work through some difficult emotions and find other solutions, not food and other substances, to deal with difficult emotions and states. So think about it. Choose the tool, just one, not 3 of them, but just one that you want to work with on the most acute problem, and take actions. Find that person, find that tool, do something about it. Also share this episode with other people who might be struggling with their eating habits, maybe emotional life, and as a result with their eating habits. Share this episode with them so they also can think about it and figure out the best tool to use for them to move forward. So please share. Please let me know if I can help in any way, either with your nutritional plan or routine or coaching around addressing emotions without food. And guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Much love. And I just really appreciate you guys. So thank you. And till next time, as usual, eat better daily.